in the quiet of her kitchen, and then she heard the little voice. Mama, how old is Santa Claus? And she looked around at the little oval and brown face of her daughter Elsie, who she called Little Lady. Now, she called her Little Lady because she was a little lady, and she certainly knew how to behave like a lady. She was courteous and kind and very polite and generous, like a lady should always be. And she was full of questions, always questions. What was that, baby? How old is Santa Claus? Oh, baby, very, very old. Well, is he as old as Papa? She winced when she heard that. For it had been a year without Papa, but she didn't let the little lady see it. She didn't let Elsie see it at all. She said, no, baby. Yes, baby, he's much older than Papa. Well, is he older than Grandpa? Yes, he's older than Grandpa. I thought so because, you know, he has all that white hair and a white beard, so he's older than anybody I've ever seen. Well, Mama, did anybody ever see Santa Claus when he was young? And she always tried to carefully answer the question because she knew that how she answered the questions would affect the intelligence of little Elsie. So she said, yes, baby, but that's the story. And she knows the story. And she climbed up into Mrs. Whitman's lap. And she snuggled in and laid her hand on her breast. And Mrs. Whitman looked at her and she said, surely Mary must have felt like this when she looked at the Christ child for the first time. And then she started to tell the story. She said, little lady, why do we have Christmas? We have Christmas because it celebrates the Savior's birthday. That's right. Now, there were these three wise men. Now, Melchior was Greek, Gaspar was from India, and Belshazzar was from Egypt. And these three men, far away from each other, heard the voice to go see the Savior. And they all started to follow the voice to look for him. They didn't know where they were going, but they listened to the voice and they got to the place where they all three met up and they knew what was going on. And then the star was above them. And then from that point on, they followed the star right to Bethlehem, where it was standing right over the house. And then they three went into the house, and they fell down. They saw the cute little baby, and they gave gold and frankincense and myrrh and jewels and some spare change and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They were just so glad to be there. And that little lady is where Santa Claus was born. You see, Santa Claus is the spirit of thankfulness expressing itself in giving gifts to those we love. Oh, and Mama, is it true that Santa Claus will always visit good little girls? Yes, baby. Good little girls will get a visit. And then you tell me that if I pray to the good man that he'll answer my prayer. Okay. Yes, baby, I said that. Well, see, I'm praying to the good man God, and I tell him to tell Santa Claus to bring me the little brown baby doll with the black Indian hair. And for Papa to come back. That's your prayer, baby. That's my prayer, Mama. Now I'm going to bed because it's Christmas Eve, and I just know in the morning it's going to all be true. And she tucked her into bed. And then she sat alone in her big kitchen smelling like ginger and cinnamon. And she remembered how happy she and Fred were in the early years. And then she remembered how happy they were when they heard that the baby was coming. And she remembered how happy they were when the baby was born. But it seemed like Fred fell in love with the baby more than he did her. And that evil serpent of jealousy just bit her hard. And well, she started treating Fred very cruelly. And Fred just ignored her because he was so enthralled with his little baby girl. And then last Christmas, she told Fred that she wanted the beautiful white fur jacket. And he said he would, but they cut back the hours at the plant. And he didn't have as much money, but he decided to get the squeezy, fluffy bear for little lady. And that was the end. Mrs. Waterman said, "No, go out. I'm tired of you ignoring me." And being a gentleman, he went away. She didn't know if he'd ever come back. Right then, there was a knock at the door. "Who is it?" "Delivery man." And it was a little young man delivering a box. "This is for you." She said, "Wait, are you sure?" But that young man was singing as he walked down the sidewalk into the cold, dark night, crunching on the snow. That was his last delivery of the night. So she took that in and she opened up the box. And there at the top of the box, when she opened it, was the white fur jacket. What she wanted last year. And she took it and she hugged it. And she set it down and she said, took off a few layers. And there inside the box was that beautiful brown-skinned dolly with the black Indian hair that little lady wanted. She said she'll have her Christmas, at least part of it, at least part of it. About this time, she heard the whistle. Fred would always whistle when he got at the corner when he came home from work. And she could hear that whistle at that same pace and the same song he always whistled. And she said, "Is he coming home?" And she waited. As soon as she heard some footsteps on the steps and walking across the porch, there's a knock at the door. And she said, "Oh, such a gentleman. He wouldn't just burst into our lives again without announcing it. He's knocking." And she wanted to let him in, but she couldn't move. She was just like frozen like a statue. And then finally, she heard the key turn. And he opened the door. He stuck his head in. He saw her standing there. And she didn't say anything. He said, "Well, I wish you could at least welcome me back." And she tried to move and she just collapsed. But Fred caught her. He caught her in his arms and said, "I just could not spend another Christmas away from you and little lady. Is it all right if I come home?" About this time, little Elsie, the little lady, she heard the voice, "Papa, Papa, Papa!" And then she saw the doll. She said, "It came true. My dream, my wish, it came through. Ah, it's the best Christmas ever. The best Christmas ever." On a cold, dark night, there was warmth in the home with Fred and Mrs. Whitney and little Elsie. And that's all I have to say about that. God bless.
Hello, Jay. Thank you so much. Our next storyteller.